welcome to Play with the World and the Awakened and Aligned podcast. My name is Shannon Kaiser. I am your host. I am the author of several books on feeling better, living life the way it's meant to be lived. Really, they're books on the psychology of happiness, getting unstuck. Really, it all comes back down to self-love, self-respect, and knowing your worth. And so today's topic is inspired by a recent Instagram post that I posted to my channel. I've been doing a lot more content on helping us really feel better in our lives by knowing our worth and our value. And I wanted to turn it into a video for the YouTube channel and also the podcast here. And it's really about self-inquiry, being kind of inquisitive on your own journey of what matters most to you. It is my birthday this week. It's my birthday week here in March. And it's exciting because I'm always thinking about, I'm a very curious person, and I'm always thinking about next level. Like, what does that look like? And as far as feeling the most optimal that I can, making choices that are aligned with my true self. And that's really where we're at today. And so especially during my birthday, it's kind of like a time to really reflect. And so I'm going to open up to you. In my first book, Find Your Happy, I wrote a chapter called Make Every Day Your Birthday. We don't have to wait for our birthday to feel special or to honor ourselves. What if we did that every day? What if we started to show up for ourselves in ways that we have never done before? One of the ways we can do this is by really asking ourselves the questions of what do we need and are we getting our needs met? One of my favorite questions I ask new clients when they come into my practice, my one-on-one coaching, is it's often about our needs. You know, what's something you need that you're not currently getting? And it could be a need in the world, in your job, in a relationship, or even something that you're feeling just is amiss. That's often why we come to coaching. That's why we show up for, beautiful YouTubes and shows like this. It really does come back down to you and honoring yourself. But we first have to identify what are our needs. And so getting clarity and really tapping into that space for yourself is important. So today's like a mini life coaching session, if you will, on making sure your needs are met and you're having the healthiest relationship for yourself and those around you. Today's journal questions that I'll give you, if you will, are inspired by Dr. Elizabeth Fedrick. And she posted on her Instagram, she's a therapist as well, and she posted kind of this framed up, I'm calling it the Big 15, but really it's a frame up of what's important to you and making sure that you're living to the standards that you know are of value for you. So what we're going to do is pull out your pen and paper, do a little mini life coaching session here, and really get clear about what is important to me, my top 15. And so the first thing you're going to list out is 5 needs. These are your non-negotiables. Now, you can do this in 2 ways, and I suggest you do it in both. Look at your outer relationships, what I need in my relationships with people in my life, whether it's family members, personal romantic relationships, significant others, relationships with your children, relationships with the community and people at work. All relationships, there's a certain standard. There's certain things we need, such as respect, such as reciprocation. I want to feel valued. I want to feel like we're in this together. I need to feel, heard. I don't want to be talked over. These are things that are just important to check in on. And so you look at what are my 5 needs, my non-negotiables. You write that down and get honest with yourself. Then we're going to ask yourself, what are my 5 wants? What do I truly want? Now, this is about your preferences. And a lot of the times the wants are really about lifestyle choices or things we want. But if we don't have them, it will be okay. We're not going to die. We're not going to freak out or be like, I can't be in this relationship. For example, for the longest time, I thought a need was I really wanted to be in a romantic relationship with someone who loves dogs. I'm a dog person, as you know. Chance, my rescue dog, is my everything. And so I was really, really, really clear about that. But I kept meeting people who were either allergic to dogs or didn't like dogs. But the connection was really wonderful. But I realized that it is a want of mine, but it's more of a need. And a want is really a non-negotiable, but a need is a preference. And so I've heard many stories, and even in my own family, we grew up with dogs. And in the very beginning, when I was younger, I remember my mom wasn't so into dogs. She just was, cool. They're wonderful. But I remember my dad and I were like cuddling with my dog, and it was just more like, okay, the dog is a pet. But through time, she really fell in love with dogs, and now she basically gives up her own bed to the dogs because the dogs are such family now. So it realized that not only is this really a want, because people can change if they understand something that's important to me, but I'm going off about the dogs. But what I'm really getting at is you have preferences that are really important, and then needs that must be met in order for you to feel safe and respected in a relationship. And it's not just about the outward must love dogs. I want someone who, really follows my lifestyle choices as well. These are great. But what we're really talking about today is the deeper meaning behind all of this, which is, in order for you to have healthy relationships, you have to be able to call in and identify what is healthy behavior and what is not. And so having a non-negotiable list of, I must be respected, I must be talked at as an equal, I must be, you fill in this list for you, but then the wants become a little bit more kind of a standard in which you live, but it's not a non-negotiable. And that's what really leads us into the fifth. So we're doing 15, the list of 15. The first is my 5 needs, my 5 wants. And then the final list is my 5 boundaries. And these are really deal breakers. If someone crosses this, then it's a no-go for me. And so for me, it looks like maybe a boundary is, in meeting new people, if somebody's love bombing or kind of putting it on really thick in the beginning and it feels very ingenuine, or that's a no. If someone is gaslighting or triangulating, where they constantly bring up other people to try to make you jealous, or they're always bringing other people into the relationship, it's a no-go. It's a boundary for me, because often this leads to a pattern of toxic behavior, of insecurities in the relationship, of people trying to put power plays. It's not needed. And so we have these deal breakers. The deal breakers are the most important for you, because you really set yourself up for a standard of what you will stand up for in your life. And it's really important to honor these. As you start to do this, you really realize what is happening in your life. So I created this list for myself. I use it with my life coaching clients. And as I just turned 43, just welcomed in my new birthday, I was looking at all the relationships in my life. And there were some people in my inner circle, when I looked at my 5 wants, my 5 needs, and my 5 boundaries, basically, I realized there were some people in my life who, all of the things that I said that were important to me, these people were opposite. So they were disrespecting me. They were lying to me. They were manipulating me. They were not into dogs, although they said they were, but they weren't. They were actually not. And so it's this place of radical honesty within yourself. And so I really removed those people from my life, because they were not in alignment with who I am or what my values are. And then this list helps you be more clear. Am I living in integrity with self? Am I honoring who I am and what I stand for? And, as soon as I started to look at this and live from this place of truth, I started to have more quality relationships. The relationships with others really started to, the ones that weren't a right fit fell away, and it welcomed in really healthy new relationships. So this is an opportunity for you, a good life coaching kind of therapist exercise, if you will, and have fun with it. I'd love to hear in the comments what maybe one of your non-negotiables are. And the final thing to this is, you can do this list, the 15, Power 15, with your relationships, but I also invite you to do it with yourself. What are my 5 needs for myself? Well, I need to show up every day for myself. I need to get quality sleep. I need to drink a lot of water, whatever it may be for you on your own personal growth and wellness journey. And then what are my 5 wants? And then what are my 5 non-negotiables as far as boundaries? So have fun with this. And thanks for playing with the world today. Again, I would love to hear from you in the comments, or just ping me back via email. I'm always very accessible to hear how your journey is going. Thanks again for playing with the world.